Picture this. You're standing at the grocery store checkout, watching the numbers climb higher and higher on that little screen. Your heart sinks as the total flashes. Another week, another small fortune spent on food. You've got bags of ingredients that seemed essential in the moment, but now you're wondering how you'll make it all work before anything spoils. If this scene feels painfully familiar, you're definitely not alone. Between November 2023 and November 2024, the cost of eating away from home jumped by 3.6%, while groceries at home only increased by 1.6%. That gap tells us something important. The wallet-friendly path runs straight through your own kitchen. The average American family of 4 tosses more than $3,000 worth of groceries into the trash each year. Think about that for a moment. $3,000. That's not chump change. That's a vacation, a chunk of a car payment, or a serious dent in your emergency fund, all ending up as compost because we didn't plan properly or forgot what was hiding in the back of the fridge. But here's the encouraging part. Saving money on meals isn't about deprivation or eating the same bland chicken and rice every single night. It's about working smarter, not harder, and making strategic choices that actually enhance rather than diminish your quality of life. Let's start with the foundation, meal planning. I know, it sounds tedious, almost boring, but stick with me here because this single habit transforms everything. When you plan your meals for the week, you're essentially building a roadmap that keeps you from wandering aimlessly through the grocery store, tossing random items into your cart based on what looks good in the moment. Before you even think about heading to the store, open your fridge and pantry. Really look at what's already there. That half-used jar of pasta sauce, those wilting vegetables in the crisper drawer, the package of chicken thighs you bought on sale last week, these are the bones of your meal plan. Build around what you already have. This simple act of taking inventory before shopping can save you from buying duplicates and helps ensure nothing goes to waste. When you're crafting your weekly plan, think strategically about ingredient overlap. If you're buying a bunch of cilantro for tacos on Monday, what else can you make that uses cilantro? Maybe a bright, fresh salsa or a cilantro lime rice to accompany Wednesday's dinner? When you shop with ingredient crossover in mind, you maximize what you buy and minimize what gets thrown away. And here's a professional tip. Leave room for flexibility. Plan 5 or 6 dinners instead of 7. Life happens, someone gets invited out, you stay late at work, or frankly, you just don't feel like cooking. Those buffer nights give you breathing room without the guilt of wasted food. Now let's talk about the actual shopping experience, because this is where fortunes are won or lost. First rule, never, and I mean never, shop when you're hungry. Studies consistently show hungry shoppers spend significantly more and make poorer nutritional choices. That candy bar at the checkout suddenly seems essential when your stomach is growling. Eat a snack before you go, even if it's just an apple or a handful of nuts. Your wallet will thank you. Keep your shopping list sacred. Write it down, organize it by store section if that helps you stay focused, and stick to it like your financial health depends on it, because it does. Those impulse purchases, the items strategically placed at eye level to catch your attention, they add up faster than you'd believe. Here's something most people overlook: the power of store brands. Consumer Reports found that store brand products typically taste just as good as name brands 76% of the time, yet they cost 25 to 30% less on average. In some categories, like basic staples such as flour, sugar, rice, and canned vegetables, the savings can reach 40% or more. The secret? Many store brands are actually manufactured by the same companies that make the name brand versions, just with different packaging. Compare the ingredient lists. You'll often find they're identical. For a family spending $600 monthly on groceries, switching to store brands for even half your purchases could save you $75 to $90 every month. That's $900 to over $1,000 annually just for choosing a different label. Seasonal shopping deserves your attention too. When strawberries flood the market in summer, prices drop dramatically. But try buying those same berries in January, and you'll pay triple, maybe quadruple the price for berries that were shipped from another hemisphere. Embrace what's naturally abundant in your region during each season. Squash and apples dominate fall markets at bottom prices. Leafy greens thrive in cooler months. Summer brings tomatoes, berries, and stone fruits in glorious abundance. Shopping seasonally doesn't just save money, the produce tastes better because it's picked at peak ripeness rather than shipped from thousands of miles away. Let's talk about the restaurant comparison because understanding these numbers changes perspective. The average home-cooked meal costs around $4.31 per person, while dining at even an inexpensive restaurant runs about $16.28 per serving. That's nearly a 285% markup. And that's before you factor in tips, drinks, parking, or delivery fees. For a family of 4 eating out just once a week, switching to home-cooked meals saves roughly $2,500 annually. Scale that to twice weekly, and you're looking at $5,000 returned to your pocket. These aren't small numbers. They're life-changing amounts that could fund retirement accounts, eliminate debt, or build meaningful savings. But what about time? This objection comes up constantly, and it's valid. Cooking does take time. However, this is where batch cooking becomes your secret weapon. Dedicate a few hours on a weekend afternoon to prepare components or complete meals that you can freeze and reheat throughout the month. Brown several pounds of ground meat with different seasonings. One batch with Italian herbs for pasta sauce, another with cumin and chili powder for taco filling, a third plain for versatility. These batches freeze beautifully in portion-sized containers. Cook a massive pot of beans, portion them out, freeze them flat in bags for easy storage. Chop and freeze vegetables before they turn bad. Roast several sheet pans of vegetables at once while the oven's already hot. These batch-cooked elements become building blocks for quick weeknight meals that rival takeout for convenience, but cost a fraction of the price. Freezer meals deserve special mention here. When you make a lasagna or casserole, it takes essentially the same amount of effort to make 2 as it does to make 1. Assemble the second one. Wrap it tightly, label it clearly with contents and date, and freeze it. On those nights when energy is scarce and the takeout menu beckons, you can pull out a homemade frozen meal instead. The cost per serving remains around that $4 mark, but it feels like magic, a ready-made meal that you don't have to cook from scratch in the moment. Food waste reduction ties directly into savings. Remember that $3,000 figure we mentioned earlier? Most of that waste comes from buying food we never eat or forgetting about leftovers until they've transformed into science experiments in the back of the fridge. Get systematic about leftovers. Designate one shelf in your refrigerator as the Eat Me First zone. Anything that needs to be consumed soon goes there, front and center, where you can't miss it. Learn to love leftover transformation. Yesterday's roast chicken becomes today's chicken salad or tomorrow's soup base. That rice from Monday works beautifully in Wednesday's stir fry or Friday's burrito bowls. Understanding food date labels helps too. Many people confuse best buy dates with safety deadlines. Foods marked best buy can often be consumed well after that date. The label refers to peak quality, not safety. Use-by dates, on the other hand, apply to highly perishable items and should be respected. This confusion leads Americans to unnecessarily discard billions of pounds of perfectly edible food. When in doubt, use your senses. Look for signs of spoilage, smell the food, and trust your instincts. Here's a strategy that feels counterintuitive but works brilliantly. Embrace imperfection. Those misshapen tomatoes or apples with blemishes cost significantly less than their picture-perfect counterparts, yet they taste identical once you cut them up for a salad or sauce. Many grocers now offer ugly produce sections at steep discounts. Grab those weird-looking vegetables without hesitation. They're nutritionally identical to the pretty ones, and your wallet will appreciate the savings. Shopping frequency matters more than you might think. Each additional trip to the store presents more opportunities for impulse purchases. Try condensing your shopping to once weekly or even twice monthly for shelf-stable items, supplemented by quick trips for fresh items as needed. The fewer times you enter the store, the fewer chances you have to stray from your list and budget. Digital tools can amplify your savings. Cashback apps like Ibotta or Fetch actually put money back in your pocket for purchases you're already making. Store loyalty programs provide exclusive discounts and personalized coupons. Price comparison apps help you identify which store offers the best deals on items you buy regularly. These tools require minimal effort, mostly just scanning receipts or linking accounts, but the savings accumulate steadily over time. Plant-based proteins deserve attention as budget stretchers. Beans, lentils, and tofu cost dramatically less per serving than meat while providing excellent nutrition. You don't have to go full vegetarian, but incorporating even 1 or 2 meatless meals weekly significantly reduces your grocery bill. A pound of dried beans costs around $2 and yields 6 to 8 servings. A pound of ground beef, by contrast, costs $6 to $8 and serves 4 to 6 people. The math speaks for itself. Plus, legume-based meals often taste incredible. Think hearty chili, creamy hummus, or spicy lentil curry. So you're not sacrificing flavor for savings. One final thought about this whole equation. Cooking skills compound over time. Your first attempt at homemade pizza might take 90 minutes and turn out mediocre. But by your 10th pizza, you've got the process down to 30 minutes, and it tastes better than delivery. Every recipe you master, every technique you learn, every shortcut you discover, they all contribute to a growing toolkit that makes cooking faster, easier, and more enjoyable. You're not just saving money in the moment, you're investing in a skill that pays dividends for life. Saving money on meals isn't about perfection or rigid rules. It's about consistent, thoughtful choices that align your food spending with your values and goals. Small shifts, like planning ahead Sunday afternoon, or committing to cooking dinner 3 nights instead of 2, or simply switching to store brands for 5 staple items. That single change creates momentum, and momentum builds into transformation. If you found these strategies helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're here every week with practical financial wisdom that actually works in real life. Now get out there and start saving. Your future self is already thanking you.